And for people who have nothing to do with even having given a penny to start making demands, you're basically blackmailing and basically holding you guys, they hijacked this whole process. It's wrong. It's just not wrong. It's just wrong. Because from the get-go, it has been extremely transparent. But if people want to pop in for 3 minutes in a week-long process, of course they're going to not understand. But you can't start rumor and you can't start bullying and mudslinging based on jealousy or based on insecurity or based on lack of knowledge. And that's that. Yep. I have no clue what happens. I really don't. Thank you.
Well, you are welcome to stay on panel. I just added a sub named Diane and a sub named Karen that when they were issued and Q put it out publicly that they were issued, that they were getting doxxed. But from what I heard, because I do stay out of streams, or at least I try to. So sometimes people will be like, oh my God, go to so-and-so stream, and I'll go pop in. But, I try to stay out of streams where I know somebody's going to be getting obliterated like that. But I did try to stay out of the stream where, Tiffany was being obliterated and by somebody she claims stalks her. I didn't want any parts of that. I don't want any parts of that. And I do try to stay out of streams where the same thing is happening to Scott. I know he would probably feel differently if I said, if he's hearing this, he feels differently because I was in Libby's chat that one night where they were like, fuck Scott. But that lasted for about 2 minutes and then they moved on because the topic wasn't about Scott, it was about something else. So that lasted for 5 seconds, maybe more. And then the entire remainder of the stream was about unrelated topics, happy, light subjects, whatever. But, it's, the other side feels like he was doxing people by saying a first name and last initial or first initial and last name. That's the extent I've heard of that. I don't, if there was more released than that, like email, phone number, address, I haven't heard it. I don't think that Q would do that. I don't think that she even did first and last name. I don't know. Q, did you do first and last name ever? Q.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't stand this mute button. Okay, finally got it. First, let me see. So first initial, last name. Because I have to tell people where that money went. I can't just come on here and be like, a subscriber took that money. It doesn't work like that. Right. Transparency goes both ways. That is not doxing. That is literally not doxing. They can look it up. First initial, last name. And because that person uses her name on YouTube, people figured it out, she said, but that wasn't true. Because we had plenty of subscribers that were in the live when Tiffany Marie actually was, called herself streaming my stream, going through what I said. And when it got to the person she said name, she called their whole name out in her live. And then she made it private. So I've never doxed anybody, And I don't think else
first name and last name?
No, never. I told them I'm a businesswoman. I know about confidentiality.
Okay.
Transparency, period.
But I know that's a big thing for them, and also is I think I'm echoing one. So I know another big thing for the other side is that they don't like that there's Zelle, PayPal, Cash App, the merch store, what was another one, Venmo, and Facebook Messenger. And I just want to say that, to my knowledge, the reason why those other streams came into play was because the Summer Wells line had to be taken down. People wanted to know how else they could contribute, especially whenever people started to send super chats after super chats after super chats, especially after we were going from different platform to different platform, and not all of the creators put up the disclaimer beforehand that the super chats would be going to themselves and not the reward fund. So people were starting to send super chats thinking it's going to the reward fund on other platforms, and they weren't. But I know that when we would be on Q's channel, we would the super chats would come in, and eventually it started to be a lot because they would be donating however much, and then YouTube, I believe, takes 30%. So she was saying that, it's starting to, be a thing. It's, you guys are sending a lot of super chats and, I'm good for it, but, this is a lot. And I don't think she ever expected it to be that much. However, don't hold me to that. She can speak for herself, but just from what I understood, it was starting to be a lot. And people asked if there's other ways to donate. And, I know somebody asked if you could go through Facebook Messenger, and she was like, well, if you want to, but is there more than one person who wants to do that, or is it just one, or I'll do what you guys are comfortable with. That's what she kept saying, is I'll do what you guys are comfortable with. And then, but it all came from the merch being taken down, and that's just it rolled from there. And that's when Cash App and PayPal was introduced into it because of that. And I think that that goes back to Wavergate. But that's my opinion. I'm going to unmute Q. Yes, I can hear you.
In defense of Q, she was asked for receipt, we need receipts by people that had absolutely nothing to do with the process. And so in order for her to honor what I consider hijacking of the process, Q had to show receipts. And she blacked out the first name of some people, but there was a last name. And that was because those accounts were set up in that person's last name. So for instance, on my PayPal, I don't have my real name. I have Doctora Latina. So that if it got read out, or she wanted to pretend I said I want my money back, she would have read it off as Doctora Latina. But if you don't have the foresight to change and make yourself private, and your PayPal or whatever is still in your legal name, then in order to show receipts, and show transparency, Q has to do something. So she either gives the first name A, I'm using myself, Salerno, or the last name Salerno, whatever comes back on the receipt from the given donation. So this was not about doxing people, and she was very prudent, in my opinion, to give it the minimal amount of information possible.
Yeah, I think also that they were emphasizing that the people who were wanting a refund were shamed because she was calling it out online. But if Was it?
But what did they expect? Because what was being asked was, we want a refund and we want to see the receipts for the refund. We were being demanded that, okay, by other creators. So what is Q supposed to do? Not show the receipts? Then they're going to say she scammed her. I mean, it's really crazy. That's why I'm saying it's crazy making. And you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. But I do want to speak to one more thing, and then I'm going to hush. And that is what you just said, Penny, about first it was just this merch store. Then it was the super chats. I heard all of that. And then the super chats became too much. And you all said, no, we can't do the super chats because we got to do it to another method. To me, what I call this process that unfolded is that it was a very dynamic, fluid, organic process that changed dramatically from day 1 to day 7. And what you all did is you started off with a pure heart and a pure goal. And as things unfolded, you had to be flexible in order to receive monies from people who called in and said, I don't have Venmo or whatever. I only have Facebook. I remember that. And Q was like, I don't know if I can activate that, and if I have to pay a fee for it, whatever. But you all did what people who collaborate on a project should do. And that is you have to troubleshoot as the fluidity of the process unfolds. And you could have made a guideline and a rule for everything on day 1. And I'm going to promise you that you would probably have to have ripped that